If you are a big fan of binge watching, we've got something amazing for you. Amazing TV series means having a never-forgetting plot twist, right? In this video, we're going to share with you the 8 most shocking plot twists in TV show history. Stay with us till the end of the video to find out if your favorite TV series is included in the video, so let's get started. Number 1. Ned Stark's execution in Game of Thrones. The hero we thought we had. Ned Stark's death in Season 1, Episode 9 broke the world's heart. When you're really into the first season of Game of Thrones, you might think that Ned Stark guy is really something. He is honest, has morals, and is the major character. He can't have anything bad happen to him, right? We were so wrong. It was like the TV gods reached through the screen and slapped us all in the face when that spoiled brat King Joffrey chose to cut off Ned's head. I remember being frozen in shock as I sat there with my enthusiasm to reach to the end of the series. But this moment in the series took my breath away. As Ned, Sean Bean has died many times in movies, but this was different. It wasn't just a death, it made a point. Forget what you know about good guys and bad guys. Here, anyone can die at any time. It is a saying from Game of Thrones. That really set the tone for the rest of the series, and after that, it was like going through a minefield to watch Game of Thrones. What made it so exciting was that you never knew who would make it to the next show. Number 2, the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. The party you wish you skipped. Red Wedding takes place in Season 3, Episode 9, called The Reigns of Castamere. If you thought Ned Stark's death was bad, you haven't seen it yet. The most well-known wedding ever shown on TV. Weddings are supposed to be happy events, right? No way in Westeros. Instead of cakes, the guests at this wedding were served deception and bloodshed. Once more, the Starks were at the center of everything. Robb Stark, who we thought was our hero and king, was about to turn the war around. He had a lot of charm, was brave, and loved his beautiful wife Talisa. We thought this was a good time to party, of course. Again wrong. We felt a chill go down our spines as soon as the doors shut and the Reigns of Castamere began to play. From then on, there was a terrifying blur of knives, arrows, and blood. So much blood. Many people, including Robb, Talisa, Caitlyn, and many others, were killed at what only can be called the worst wedding ever. Fans all over the world were shocked and horrified by the Red Wedding, which was not just a twist. That's when we learned Game of Thrones didn't just mess with our feelings, it broke them. Number 3, I'm the one who knocks scene in Breaking Bad, the transformation we didn't see coming. This one is no less than the most iconic scene in the TV show industry. This episode moves from a fantasy set in Middle Ages to the absolute truth of Breaking Bad. We all felt sorry for Walt when he was first introduced as a shy high school chemistry teacher who had been told he had cancer. I mean, who wouldn't support a guy who's just trying to make ends meet? Then there was that one moment that changed everything. Because Walt was breaking the law, his wife Skylar was afraid that they were in danger. What does Walt do? I'm not in danger, Skylar. This is one of the scariest lines ever heard on TV. I'm the threat. Do you think that about me when someone opens their door and gets shot? Not at all. I'm the one who knocks. Feel the goosebumps? This was not just a line, it was a statement of war. It was the moment when Walter White fully accepted Heisenberg as his dark side. The man we used to root for was gone, and in his place was a cruel tyrant who would do anything to get what he wanted. You couldn't take your eyes off of this turn of events, even though you knew things were going to get worse from here on out. Number 4, who shot JR in Dallas? The mystery that held a nation hostage. In 1980, Dallas was the most popular primetime soap show. In the summer of 1980, everyone had the same question. Who killed JR? The show's bad guy oil tycoon, J.R. Ewing, had a lot of enemies. So when he was shot in his office at the end of Season 3, it wasn't a big surprise that someone wanted him dead. But the question of who fired the gun? That story was different. The whole country was crazy about it. Who shot JR became a big deal in pop culture, leading to arguments, ideas, and even merchandise. When the show finally revealed that the killer was Kristen Shepard, JR's sister-in-law and ex-lover, the twist both shocked and pleased viewers. This is the first Wood unit that sets the standard for all the cliffhangers and mysteries we love today. Number 5. Don Draper's double life in Mad Men. the man who wasn't there. There is no one cooler than Don Draper. He's good-looking, rich, and mysterious, and we saw Don move easily through the advertising world of the 1960s, but it was clear that he was hiding something. It turned out that something was a whole different person. We learned that Don Draper is not Don Draper, which is a huge surprise. He is Dick Whitman, and he stole someone else's name after that person died in the Korean War. What a double life. What we thought we knew about Don was turned on its head by this news. It was not just a surprise, it was a genius move that made the show's themes of identity, starting over, and the bad side of the American dream even stronger. All of a sudden, Don's constant running, inability to calm down, and haunted look made sense. He wasn't just running away from his past, he was also running away from himself. What could have been another story about the 1960s was turned into a complicated psychological drama called Mad Men, and no one was quite who they seemed to be. Number 6. The Ice Truck Killer's identity in Dexter. The killer close to home. The show where everyone cheered for a serial killer? Because why not? Dexter Morgan, the main character we love, has a strict moral code. He only kills other villains. Even though it's weird, that's what makes him likable, right? The Ice Truck Killer, Season 1's bad guy who has been making fun of Dexter all season, now shows up. He was incredibly good. The last episode of the season then hits us with a twist that is so close to home that it hurts. Rudy Cooper, who is being friends with Deborah, Dexter's sister, is found to be the Ice Truck Killer. There is more, though. He is also Brian Moser, Dexter's long-lost real brother. The stakes are higher for Dexter now, and he has to face his own past, his family, and the source of his sadness. The killer of the ice truck was not just a crazy person, he was family. That made everything a million times more interesting and difficult. Number 7, Livia's death in The Sopranos. The goodbye we didn't see coming. The Sopranos is a show that changed the way people watch TV and introduced us to Tony Soprano, the most complicated mob boss ever. Tony was in charge of the mob, had to keep his family in line, and had to deal with his controlling mother, Livia Soprano. It seemed like Livia's full-time job was to plot against Tony and make him feel guilty all the time. So when she died out of the blue at the beginning of Season 3, it was a surprise. It was an even bigger surprise when you think about what happened in real life. Nancy Marchand, the wonderful actress who played Livia, had died, so the showrunners had to work hard to make sure that her death fit into the story. They did it with a mix of old video, CGI, and smart dialogue. Livia had one last scene with Tony that was both creepy and sad. Livia's death left a huge role in Tony's life and in the show itself. It also set the stage for our unhappy mob boss to go on an even darker and more introspective journey. Number 8, the big reveal in Lost. When we realized we were all lost. Last but not least, we have Lost, the show that made us question everything, even our own mind. Lost was a great mystery show because it kept us giving curveballs and leaving us with more questions than answers. But the biggest surprise came in the last season when we found out that what we thought was the present was a sideways world that felt like purgatory. We were led to think that the characters were trying to stay alive on a mysterious island after their plane crashed. What we saw in the flashback scenes was not just another timeline, though. They were a kind of heaven where the characters were dealing with their lives and deaths. This turn of events split fans more than any other. Some people thought it was a great finish to a show that was already very confusing, while others thought it was a cop-out that didn't answer enough questions. This turn of events, whether you liked it or not, made Lost one of the most ambitious and risky TV shows ever. It showed that sometimes it's not about the end goal but the crazy random journey getting there. If you can remember any other TV show with an amazing plot twist, share it with us in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching the video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.